Thank you for joining me on this episode of HWYSpec. My name is Trent. We're going to jump right into it and spec out the new Lotus Eletre. Now the Lotus Eletre, you may not even know what this is, but it is an all-electric, as Lotus calls it, hyper SUV. Now this is something that is very controversial because Lotus has always produced lightweight, stripped-down vehicles that have an emphasis on performance. Now making an SUV, kind of controversial, but thank you to the Porsche Cayenne, kind of helped ease that transition. But then going all electric with their first SUV, and as you may or may not know, batteries are heavy. Duh. And Lotus is not about heavy. This vehicle clocks in at 5,500 pounds. That is significant. I'm willing to give Lotus a pass because if this is anything like the Porsche Cayenne, then we hope it's a huge success for them and they can make other really cool products as well and continue to make really cool products. Now, although this is a technically Chinese SUV, it was designed in Hethel, England, where Lotus is based, and there is a huge emphasis on the aerodynamics, including these scoops that you see here on the screen. They allow air to flow through it and provide a slipperier profile, a 0.26 drag coefficient. Now, the Eletre, it has a lot of things that a typical Lotus does not have. It has your screens all over the interior, which is unusual for a Lotus vehicle because usually they don't really have much in the way of screens at all. And it even has soft closed doors as an option, which I would be shocked if you told me just a couple of years ago that Lotus would produce a vehicle with soft closed doors, SUV or not. That is a luxury feature not usually seen in a Lotus. Now the Eletre does use an 800 volt architecture, so it does allow for faster charging, but it does come in 3 different trim levels. There is the base Eletre, the Eletre S, and the Eletre R. So the Eletre and Eletre S give you 603 horsepower. They all have the same 112 kilowatt hour battery, but the Eletre R, that's the one that steps it up to 905 horsepower and gives you a 2-speed transmission on the rear axle, which seems like such a minor thing, but to me it makes a big difference. If you look at the Porsche Taycan, that has a different feel to it because of the gears changing rather than just push the throttle and go. So I like that in that it provides a little bit more of a traditional car feel to this hyper SUV, whatever they call it.
I'm not calling you that.
Now, it does add the Lotus track mode, active rear wheel steering, some other things that make it a little bit better at handling, but the reviews so far that I've seen of this Eletre is that yes, you do notice the extra heft, but they do a pretty good job of hiding it. It is still there. So here we go, we're going to configure one. A lot of the vehicles that I've seen on the test drives have been, you know, the grays, the blacks, things like that. But for me, I think if you're going for a bold SUV, and this applies to the Lamborghini Urus, or say like a BMW X6M or something like that, I think you need to go with a bold color. And for me, that solar yellow fills the bold to the max. So there we go. We'll take a look at this exterior on the Lotus Eletre. I can't say I love the grille, the kind of the gaping grille there, but I do like the headlights on it. The rear end is not bad. I will say the rear 3/4 though,
Here's a face only a mom would like.
I don't love it, but it's not awful. All right, so first up we have an option to choose wheels. There are a lot of black accents on this, so I actually don't mind the black wheels. I'm not huge on black wheels right now, but I think they work pretty well. Now these carbon fiber insert 23-inch wheels are pretty interesting. I do kind of like them, but unfortunately we don't have a price. So if it's anything more than, say, $2,000, it's probably not worth it. And chances are it's going to be more than that, but there it is. For now, I'm going to pick that. Next up, we have the brakes, and of course, being that there's a bunch of yellow accents, we are going to stick with the yellow accents here. Now you can get carbon ceramic brakes, however, I'm going to skip right over those because it is an SUV. Granted, it can handle well. I'm not going to go through the carbon ceramics. This is already a vehicle that is brand new for Lotus. Lotus isn't known for their electronics, and this is an electric vehicle. So adding any extra complexity or cost, probably not the best idea. So we're going to skip over this carbon ceramic brakes. Now this does come with the carbon pack. You can get the extended carbon pack, which goes to the front lip spoiler, lower rear diffuser. Honestly, I think I would do it. We are going to stick with the gloss black Lotus badge and the Lotus front badge there. Next up, we are going to dive into the interior and see what we can come up with. Like many vehicles are doing now, they have a theme. So rather than just picking a color, it's a whole aura of what the interior is like. So pre-selected for us is quartz, which is white and yellow piping accents, cloud tritone seat belts, and silver decor, along with apparently some dark blue steel accents. Honestly, I really do like that. I think the white with the yellow accents works really well. Even though black would probably be more on brand, if you've watched this channel before, a black interior to me is kind of boring, so I tend to shy away from that. Now, unfortunately, this Jasper interior theme comes with all the carbon fiber options on the inside, which is really nice, but it's the charcoal and red Napa leather, which basically in this instance is just red stitching. Let's see if we can change that here later in the configurator. All right, so we can get the comfort seat pack, which gives you power adjustable front seats and heated front and rear seats, power lumbar support, all these things that you would never have in a Lotus of the past, but here it is. Given that it's an SUV, we're going to go ahead and do it and not go with the executive seat pack, which only gives you 4 seats. That said, you are missing out on ventilated seats and massaging seats. All right, so here we are back to the interior trim. We can get the gloss black, or we can go with the carbon, and because of the carbon exterior options, going to choose the carbon on the inside as well. I think that will make it look very nice.
Very nice.
Right.
Now, unfortunately, here in the United States, the side cameras are not available, so we do have to stick with the traditional exterior mirrors. I'm going to add the HomeLink system, and we're going to add the intelligent glass roof, which is automatically dimming and panoramic. All right, going against what I said earlier, the added complexity of those carbon ceramic brakes that are mechanical, yeah, I'm going to add the parking pack, which allows the vehicle to park itself, which is entirely electronic.
Are you serious? Yes, I'm serious.
And there it is. That is my Lotus Eletre spec. How I would personally do it, it is the Eletre R with the full 905 horsepower in solar yellow with the quartz interior and several options I never thought would be on a Lotus. What do you think of it? What would you do differently? And if you enjoy videos like these, please consider subscribing, and I will catch you on the next one.